This is not a coincidence. This moment you are in right now did not happen by accident. Out of so many distractions, so many voices, so many choices you could have made today, you are here for a reason. There is a quiet purpose behind this very second. Something greater than logic, something beyond chance is guiding your steps. And even if you don't fully understand it yet, you can feel that there is something meaningful about this moment, something intentional, something designed just for you. Because life does not randomly place you in moments that speak directly to your heart. There is always a deeper reason, a divine alignment that is working in ways you cannot see. Sometimes we think everything is just happening randomly, that we are just moving through days without direction. But the truth is, there is an unseen hand orchestrating things behind the scenes, connecting moments, arranging encounters, and placing messages right in front of you exactly when you need them the most. Even when you feel lost, even when things seem uncertain, there is still a plan unfolding slowly, carefully, perfectly timed. And this moment right here is a part of that plan. It is not late, it is not early, it is exactly on time. You might have been searching for answers, wondering why things have been the way they are, questioning why certain doors closed, why certain people left, why certain prayers seemed unanswered. But what if this moment is a response? What if this is one of the ways your answer is reaching you, not in a loud or obvious way, but in a quiet, gentle reminder that you are not alone, that your journey is not random, that there is still direction even when the path looks unclear. Think about everything you have been through, every struggle, every delay, every moment of doubt. None of it has been wasted. Every experience has been shaping you, preparing you, positioning you for something that is still ahead. And even when it felt like nothing was happening, something was always happening beneath the surface. Growth was taking place. Strength was being built. Your story was being written piece by piece, moment by moment. It is easy to dismiss a moment like this, to scroll past it, to ignore the feeling that something deeper is speaking to you. But there is a reason it caught your attention. There is a reason it made you pause. Because not every moment carries the same weight. Not every second holds a message. But this one does. This one is different. This one is reaching you in a way that is personal, in a way that is meant to remind you that you are seen, that you are guided, that you are part of something bigger than what you can currently see. Even when life feels uncertain, even when you are not sure where things are heading, you can trust that there is meaning in your journey, there is purpose in your steps, and there is a reason you are here right now. This is not a coincidence. This is a moment of alignment, a moment of connection, a moment where everything that has been happening is leading you towards something greater, something better, something that will make sense in time. And one day you will look back at this very moment and realize that it mattered more than you ever thought it did. There are moments in life when you feel like no one truly understands what you are carrying, when the weight on your heart is so heavy that even words cannot fully express it. You smile in front of others. You go through your daily routine, but deep inside there is a quiet struggle that only you can feel, and it can make you wonder if anyone even notices, if anyone sees beyond the surface. But even in those silent battles, even in those unseen tears, you are not alone, because God sees what others cannot see. He understands what you cannot explain. And He knows every detail of what you are going through. You may have cried in moments where no one was around. You may have felt broken in ways that you never showed to anyone. You may have carried pain that you kept hidden because you thought no one would understand. But God saw every tear. He heard every unspoken prayer, even the ones that never left your lips. And just because people around you did not notice your struggle does not mean it went unseen. There is a higher awareness that never misses a single moment of your life. Sometimes the hardest part is feeling like your pain is invisible, like your efforts are unnoticed, like your struggles are dismissed or ignored. But what you have to remember is that God does not measure your life the way people do. He is not looking only at what is visible on the outside. He is looking at your heart, your endurance, your faith in the middle of difficulty. And even when it feels like nothing is changing, even when it feels like your situation is staying the same, God is aware of every detail, every effort, every moment you chose to keep going instead of giving up. There is something powerful about knowing that you are seen even when you feel invisible, that your pain matters even when no one acknowledges it, that your struggles have meaning even when they seem pointless. Because God is not distant from your situation. He is present in it, walking with you through every challenge, strengthening you in ways you may not even realize yet, and holding you together when you feel like you are falling apart. You might question why you had to go through certain things, why the road has been so difficult, why the answers have not come yet. But just because you do not understand it now does not mean there is no purpose behind it. Sometimes the very things that hurt you the most are the things that shape you the strongest. The moments that break you are often the moments that build you. And even when it feels overwhelming, there is still a process taking place, one that is shaping your future in ways you cannot yet see. God is not ignoring you. He is not turning away from your pain, and He is not unaware of your situation. He is closer than you think. Even in the moments when you feel distant, even in the moments when you feel like your prayers are not being heard, He is listening, He is watching, and He is working even when it is not visible to you. So when you feel like no one understands, when you feel like your pain is too much to carry, remind yourself that you are seen, that your struggle is known, and that your story matters, because there is a presence in your life that never overlooks you, never ignores you, and never forgets you. And even in your weakest moments, you are still being held, you are still being guided, and you are still being cared for in ways that go far beyond what you can see right now. Delay does not mean denial, even though it often feels that way when you are in the middle of waiting. When days turn into weeks and weeks turn into months, and the thing you have been hoping for still has not happened, it is easy to assume that it is never going to happen. It is easy to feel like you have been overlooked or forgotten. But a delay is not a final answer. It is not a closed door. It is not the end of your story. It is simply a part of the process that you may not fully understand yet. There are seasons in life where everything seems to move slowly, where progress feels invisible, where your prayers seem to echo without response. And in those moments, your mind can start to fill with doubt, telling you that maybe is not meant for you, telling you that maybe it is too late. But what you have to remember is that timing plays a powerful role in everything. And just because something has not happened yet does not mean it will never happen. It simply means it is not the right moment yet. Sometimes what you are asking for requires preparation, not just around you, but within you. There are things being developed in your character, in your strength, in your patience, that are necessary for what is ahead. And if everything came instantly, you might not be ready to handle it. You might not be able to sustain it. So what feels like a delay is often a period of growth, a time where you are being shaped into the person who can truly receive and keep what you have been praying for. It is also important to understand that there are things happening behind the scenes that you cannot see. Situations are being arranged, paths are being aligned, obstacles are being removed, and opportunities are being prepared in ways that go far beyond your current view. And while it may look like nothing is changing on the surface, there is movement taking place where you cannot see it. There is progress being made in silence. And just because it is not visible does not mean it is not real. Think about how many times in life something made sense only after it happened. How certain delays later turned out to be protection. How certain waiting periods later revealed themselves as necessary steps. And the same is true for what you are going through now. Even if it does not make sense in this moment, even if it feels frustrating and difficult, there is still a purpose in the timing. There is still a reason why things are unfolding the way they are. You might feel tired of waiting. You might feel like giving up, like letting go of the hope you once had. But this is the moment where your faith matters the most. This is where you choose whether to believe in what you cannot yet see, whether to trust that there is still something ahead for you. And giving up now could mean walking away just before things begin to change. Delay is not a sign that you are being denied. It is a sign that there is still something in progress, something still being worked out, something still being prepared. And when the time is right, what is meant for you will not pass you by. It will arrive in a way that makes sense, in a way that fits perfectly into your life. So instead of seeing the delay as rejection, try to see it as redirection, as preparation, as a necessary part of your journey. Because your story is still unfolding, your moment is still coming, and what you are waiting for has not been taken away. It is simply being held until the right time. And when that time comes, you will understand why it did not happen sooner. Closed doors can feel like rejection, like something you wanted was taken away from you, like an opportunity slipped through your hands just when you needed it the most. And in those moments, it is easy to feel disappointed, confused, and even discouraged. You start to question what went wrong. You wonder if you were not good enough, if you missed your chance, if you should have done something differently. But not every closed door is a loss. Sometimes it is protection in a form that you do not immediately recognize. There are situations where what you desire may not truly be right for you, even if it looks perfect on the surface, even if it feels like exactly what you need. There can be things hidden beneath that you cannot see, paths that could lead to more pain than purpose. And when a door closes, it can be a way of keeping you from stepping into something that was not meant to stay in your life, something that could have taken more from you than it would have given. It is difficult to accept this in the moment, especially when your expectations were high, when you had already imagined how things would turn out, when you had placed your hopes on a specific outcome. But sometimes what feels like a setback is actually a safeguard, something stepping in between you and a future that would not have brought you peace. And even though it hurts now, even though it does not make sense right away, there is still a reason behind it. Think about times in your life where something did not work out the way you wanted, where a plan fell apart, where an opportunity disappeared, and later on you realized that it was for the best. That if things had gone the way you originally wanted, you might have ended up in a situation that would have been far more difficult, far more painful. And this is how protection often works. It does not always feel good in the moment. It does not always look like a blessing at first. But over time it reveals itself as something that kept you safe. Closed doors also redirect your path. They push you toward new directions, that you might not have considered before. They open space for better opportunities, for healthier connections, for paths that align more closely with your purpose. And while you may not see it right now, every closed door is creating room for something else to enter your life, something that fits better, something that will not require you to force it, something that will come with clarity instead of confusion. You may feel like you lost something important, like something valuable slipped away, but what is truly meant for you will not require you to chase it endlessly. It will not leave you in constant doubt. It will not close in a way that leaves you completely without direction. There will be a sense of peace, even if it takes time to recognize it. There will be a new path that begins to form, guiding you forward step by step. Instead of holding on to what is already closed, instead of replaying the past and questioning every detail, try to trust that there is something you were protected from, something you did not have to experience, because that door did not open. And even though you cannot see the full picture yet, you can choose to believe that there is still something ahead that is better suited for you. Closed doors are not the end of your journey. They are a shift in direction, a moment where your path is being adjusted for something greater, something that will align with who you are becoming. And even if it takes time to understand, one day you will look back and realize that what felt like rejection was actually protection, guiding you away from what was not meant for you and leading you toward what truly is. There are moments when it feels like nothing is happening, when you look around and everything seems the same. Your situation has not changed. Your prayers seem unanswered. Your efforts feel unnoticed. And it is easy to believe that you are standing still, that there is no progress, no movement, no sign of anything improving. But just because you cannot see it does not mean that nothing is happening. There is always something taking place behind the scenes, something quietly unfolding beyond your view. Life is not only about what is visible. There is a deeper process that works in ways you cannot track, in ways that do not always show immediate results. And while you are focused on what you can see, there are things being arranged, details being aligned, paths being prepared, and outcomes being shaped in ways that you will only understand later. And this hidden process is often where the most important work happens. Think of it like a seed planted in the ground. When you place it into the soil, you do not see anything right away. There is no visible growth, no immediate proof that something is happening, but beneath the surface there is activity. Roots are forming, strength is developing, the foundation is being built. And if you judge the process only by what you could see, you might think nothing is happening, but in reality, everything is happening in that unseen space. In the same way, there are seasons in your life where growth is taking place internally, where your character is being shaped, your patience is being strengthened, your perspective is being changed. And these are the things that prepare you for what is ahead. Even though they are not always visible, even though they do not bring instant results, they are essential to your journey. And without them, you would not be ready for what is coming next. You may feel frustrated because you want answers now. You want change now. You want to see progress immediately. But timing is not always aligned with your expectations. There are things that require time to develop. There are situations that need to come together in the right way. And if everything happened too quickly, it might not last. It might not be as strong. It might not be as meaningful. Behind the scenes, doors are being prepared. Opportunities are being positioned. People are being placed in your path at the right moment. And even though you cannot see it right now, there is movement happening, There is progress being made. And everything is coming together in a way that will make sense when the time is right. It is easy to lose hope when you do not see results, to feel like giving up when things seem unchanged. But this is often the moment where the most important part of your journey is taking place. This is where you are being prepared, where the foundation is being strengthened, where everything is being set up for what is about to come. And walking away now would mean missing what is already in progress. You have to learn to trust the unseen process, to believe that even when it feels quiet, even when it feels slow, even when it feels like nothing is moving, there is still something happening. There is still a purpose being fulfilled. And there is still a direction that is leading you forward. One day, you will look back and realize that the moments you thought were empty were actually full of preparation, that the times you thought nothing was happening were actually the times when everything was being arranged, and that what felt like stillness was actually movement in a form you could not yet recognize. And in that realization, you will understand that the unseen work was just as important as the visible outcome, and that everything was happening exactly as it needed to. Your breakthrough is closer than you think. Even if it does not feel that way right now, even if everything around you seems unchanged, even if you have been waiting longer than you expected, there is something shifting, something moving, something coming together that you cannot fully see yet. And just because the progress is not visible does not mean it is not real. Sometimes the biggest changes happen quietly, just before they appear in your life. There are moments when you feel like you have reached your limit, like you have done everything you could. You have prayed, you have tried, you have stayed patient, and still nothing seems to move. And that is often the point where doubt becomes strongest, where your mind starts telling you that it is not going to happen, that maybe you should stop believing. But what if this is the moment right before things begin to change? What if this is the point where everything you have been waiting for is about to come together? It is important to understand that breakthroughs do not always come gradually. Sometimes they come suddenly, after a long period of waiting, after a season where nothing seemed to happen. Everything can shift in a moment. Doors can open that were once closed. Opportunities can appear that you did not expect. Situations can change in ways that feel almost impossible. And when it happens, it will feel like everything came together at once, even though it was building up all along. Think about how close you might be right now, how near you could be to the very thing you have been praying for, and how giving up at this moment could mean walking away just before it arrives. Because many times people stop too soon. They lose hope at the final stage, not realizing that they were closer than they ever had been. And this is why it is so important to keep going, even when it feels difficult, even when it feels like nothing is happening. Every step you have taken, every challenge you have faced, every moment you chose to keep believing instead of giving up, it has all been leading you to this point. It has all been building towards something. And even though you cannot see the full picture yet, there is a reason you have come this far. There is a reason you are still here, and that reason is connected to what is ahead. You might feel tired. You might feel like you do not have the strength to keep waiting. But strength often grows in the moments when you feel like you have none left. Resilience is built when you choose to continue despite the uncertainty. And faith becomes strongest when you hold on even without clear evidence. And these are the very qualities that carry you into your breakthrough. There is something powerful about not giving up when everything tells you to stop, about continuing to believe when it would be easier to walk away. Because that persistence creates a momentum. It keeps you moving forward. It keeps you aligned with what is coming. And it allows you to step into your breakthrough when it finally arrives. You are not as far away as you think. The distance between where you are and where you want to be may be smaller than it feels. And what seems like a long journey could be much closer to completion than you realize. And this is why you cannot let doubt take over now. You cannot let frustration cause you to lose focus. You have to stay steady, stay hopeful, and stay committed to the path you are on. One day, very soon, things will begin to make sense. The waiting will have meaning. The struggles will have purpose. And the breakthrough you have been hoping for will no longer be something in the distance. It will be something you are living in, something you are experiencing in real time. And in that moment, you will realize that it was closer than you ever thought it was, and that holding on just a little longer made all the difference. Keep your faith even when it feels difficult, even when your emotions are telling you to give up, even when your situation does not reflect what you have been hoping for, because faith is not about what you see. It is about what you choose to believe in the middle of uncertainty. It is about holding on when there is no clear evidence. It is about trusting that there is still something ahead for you, even when the present moment feels heavy and unclear. There will be days when your confidence feels strong, when believing feels natural, when hope comes easily. But there will also be days when doubt tries to take over, when your mind starts questioning everything, when you begin to wonder if anything will ever change. And those are the moments that truly define your journey. Because it is easy to have faith when everything is going well, but real faith is built when you choose to keep believing even when things are not going the way you expected. You might feel like your story is not moving forward, like you are stuck in the same place, repeating the same struggles, facing the same challenges again and again. And it can make you feel like nothing is changing, like your efforts are not making a difference. But just because progress is not obvious does not mean it is not happening. Growth is not always loud. Change is not always visible. And sometimes the most important transformation is happening within you, but preparing you for what is still to come. Your story is not finished yet, no matter how it feels right now. No matter how incomplete things seem, there are still chapters that have not been written, moments that have not yet unfolded, and opportunities that have not yet appeared. And the place you are in right now is not your final destination. It is just a part of the journey, a step along the way, a moment that is leading you towards something greater. It is important to remind yourself that setbacks are not the end, that difficulties are not permanent, that challenges are not meant to stop you but to strengthen you. And even when things feel overwhelming, there is still a path forward, there is still a way through, and there is still a reason to keep going, because your journey has purpose, your life has meaning, and your future still holds possibilities that you have not yet experienced. You have already come so far. You have already made it through moments that once felt impossible. You have already overcome things that once seemed too heavy to carry. And if you were able to make it through those times, then there is no reason to believe that you cannot make it through this one as well. The strength you need is already within you. Even if you do not always feel it, even if it feels hidden beneath the weight of your current situation. Do not let temporary feelings make permanent decisions. Do not allow a difficult moment to convince you that your story is over, because what you are facing right now is only a part of the journey, not the conclusion. and there is still more ahead for you, more growth, more opportunities, more moments that will bring clarity and understanding to everything you have been through. Keep moving forward, even if the steps are small, even if progress feels slow, even if you cannot see the full path ahead, because every step still matters, every moment of belief still counts, and every choice to keep going brings you closer to what is ahead. And one day you will look back at this time in your life and realize that it was not the end of your story. It was the part where you chose to continue, where you chose to believe, where you chose to hold on. And that choice made all the difference in where you ended up. As you come to the end of this message, take a moment to realize that everything you have heard is not a free gale. It is a reminder placed in your path at the right time, in the right moment, for a reason that is bigger than what you can currently see, because your life is not random, your struggles are not meaningless, and your journey is not without direction. There is something greater unfolding. Even now, even in the silence, even in the waiting. You may have started this feeling uncertain, feeling tired, feeling like nothing was changing, but now you have a choice to see things differently, to understand that what feels like delay is preparation, what feels like rejection is protection, and what feels invisible is still being seen and worked on behind the scenes. And when you begin to see your life through this perspective, everything starts to shift, not because your situation instantly changes, but because your understanding becomes stronger. Remember this: you are not alone in what you are facing. You are not forgotten in your waiting, and you are not stuck forever in your current situation. There is movement, there is progress, and there is purpose, even when you cannot see it clearly, and your breakthrough is not as far away as it seems. It is closer than you think, closer than you feel, and every step you take in faith is bringing you nearer to it. So hold on to your belief, protect your peace, and keep moving forward with confidence, even if the steps are small, even if the road feels uncertain, because your story is still being written, and the chapters ahead have the power to change everything. And one day you will look back at this moment, at this very point in your life, and you will understand that this was not the end. This was the turning point. This was the moment where everything began to come together in a way you could have never imagined. If you are seeing this today, take it as your confirmation, take it as your sign to keep going, to keep believing, and to keep trusting that there is something greater ahead, because there is, and it is already on its way. And when it arrives, it will make sense of everything you have been through, every delay, every struggle, every unanswered question. It will all come together, and you will realize that nothing was wasted. Everything had a purpose, and everything was leading you exactly where you were meant to be.